Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interwebs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I am freezing my butt off here in England today. I also am a shattered man on this fine morning. Oh my goodness, guys, my legs, my feet, my body, my brain, everything is a little bit of a mess, if I'm honest with you. And that is because I spent a whole day yesterday in the big city, baby. Went out to London town to spend the day there. I had to go out there for a couple of meetings, and I kind of got stuck in the city doing some other stuff when my meetings were finished. I went to my old magic shop where I used to play Magic the Gathering. I went to see a couple of friends. I went and had a hot dog at one of my favorite hot dog shops. Oh man, it was freaking awesome. But I must have walked 20 miles, it feels like, yesterday, and this Baudi is a complete disaster area right now. I am shattered. I've been sitting on this seat here playing Minecraft for the last 3 or 4 hours, unable to move, and I guess I'll be doing this for the rest of the day while my body recovers, man. I don't know what it is. I think I need to do some more exercise out here in my real-life hermit house. I think that, if I can't even walk around a city without getting absolutely shattered, man, something is freaking wrong. But here we are, guys, in the Lush Mesa Biome. Isn't this place looking amazing? Oh, it is fantastic. Every time I come here, I get so freaking inspired. And that is because Goodtimeswithscar has, of course, pimped out the place. Something fierce, man. Today, we are going to be paying back Scar, or going to be paying Scar, should I say, for the amazing services rendered over here. I've got an inventory full of diamonds. I have spent the last week on this server speed mining, and I've managed to get myself an entire beacon's worth of diamonds, which is amazing. When we first started talking about what we were going to be paying Scar for his amazing work that he's done for us here, we were talking about in the region of 180 diamonds or 200 diamonds, something like that, right? That felt kind of fair to me, although at the time I honestly thought that Scar would just throw up a couple of trees, it would look pretty cool. But what Scar has done here has literally made our base one of the most beautiful places in Hermitcraft Season 4. And for that, guys, I think Scar deserves much more than just a couple of measly bling-blings. So I want to be rewarding Scar for his amazing work with a full diamond beacon today. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm going to be building it at his base, and it's going to be freaking sweet, man. I hope he does well with it. So instead of 200 diamonds, we're going to be paying Scar in the vicinity of 1,460 diamonds or something like that. I've emptied out all of my shops in the brown shopping district. I've collected every single diamond that I could find in all of my chests, in all of the various places that I've been keeping them, and we now have a freaking beacon's worth of diamond action to be paying back Scar. So that is fantastic, man. I'm also working a little bit here on a bit of terraformification. I want to connect this gorgeous waterfall that Scar has installed for us to our digestive tract creek over there, and that's going to help to bring the whole place together. I think it's going to be fantastic, man. So yeah, lots and lots of work to do in today's episode, my friends. Going to be working on this river, trying to make it as natural looking as possible, trying to make it as beautiful looking as possible. And hopefully, I'm going to be able to do just that. By the way, the pet rock is still alive in me inventory. The pet rock that we purchased from Iskal's shop in the previous episode. Oh, it is alive and kicking, and that is where it's going to stay. We're going to be giving this beautiful little pet rock a name today too, so that's going to be cool. I think we better start clearing away these pumpkin people also. We've got an infestation of the pumpkinites, and yeah, absolutely awesome for Halloween, but it's time that we start getting them away from here. There are so many around my base. Whenever I see them, I try and take them down, but yeah, there are a ridiculous amount of them, so we'll get clearing on those things too. But yeah, man, yesterday, guys, it was pretty intense being in London. I live out in the middle of nowhere these days. I used to live in London. I lived there for almost 10 years, actually, so I like to think of myself as a Londoner. You know, if you live in a big city, if you live in Los Angeles or New York or Singapore or Tokyo or Moscow or wherever you live, if you've lived there for a very long time, you know, you kind of claim the place in your mind. You're like, this is my town. I know how to live here. I know how to survive here, you know, and I consider myself a bit of a Londonite or a bit of a Londoner, but yesterday was a bit of a shock to the system, man. It was, whew, it is pretty crazy to go back to a big city once you've left it, you know. I kind of forgotten how busy and how crazy London is as a city, man, but I had such a freaking great time. These dogs are driving me crazy, man. I brought Peabody and Atlas out for a walk. They've been trapped in our base now for, it feels like months. I think it's about time they get some fresh air out here, don't you agree? And they're going to be chilling with me today, keeping those freaking skelebutts away. Ghost blocks, do you mind getting out of my face? Is there another one over here? Yep, there it is. But yeah, man, I had a little bit of a self-actualization moment in London, guys. It was pretty crazy. I went out there early in the morning. Left my town at about 8 a.m. Had to catch the train. It's a couple of hours or so to get to London, and I got there and I had a meeting early in the morning, and I spent the rest of the day exploring the town, going back to some of the old places that I used to love going to. I went to my favorite Magic the Gathering shop where I used to play Magic. That was freaking awesome. It was so nice to see the guys there again. And yeah, man, as I walked in there, they were like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Where the heck have you been? We've been missing you at Friday Night Magic. What's going on?" And yeah, I played a little bit of Magic with the guys there. I played a little bit of Magic called Mental Magic. I don't know how many of you guys know Magic the Gathering, but it's a pretty nerdy collecting card game that I love to play, that I've been playing since I was about 12. And I haven't played actually Magic since I moved out here. It's unfortunately not a lot of people play Magic out in the middle of nowhere, but I kind of had an itch to play again when I went back to London yesterday, and I played a little bit of Mental Magic with the owner of the store that I used to go to. Mental Magic is a pretty interesting variation of the game. Basically, the way that you play it is you each crank open a booster pack, or you crank open a couple of booster packs, depending on how many you want to play with, and you keep the booster packs upside down. And what you have to do is you have to flip the top card of the upside down booster pack over, and then you can choose that card to be any card that has ever been made in the history of Magic that is equal to the casting cost of the card that you flipped over, right? So Magic cards have like a resource that you have to pay in order to play them on the table, and there are I think there's something like 20,000 Magic cards now that have been created over the last 20 years. So you can choose a card from Magic's history to become the card that you flip over that is equal to the casting cost of that card. I'm very sad to let you guys know, though, that I got my butthole handed to me by the owner of that shop. I haven't played Magic for a while, so he was busting out new cards that I haven't seen before, cards from the new expansion sets, cards from the new packs that have come out, and I got my ass handed to me, man. It was a little bit of an embarrassment, to be honest, a tragedy, should I say. I considered myself to be pretty good at Magic back in the day, but I got my butthole handed to me, something fierce, man. But it was absolutely awesome catching up with those guys. So nice to see my old Magic friends again. That was fantastic, man. I went and had a hot dog at one of my favorite American barbecue joints also. That was my lunch. It was beautiful. But the mistake that I made yesterday, and the reason that my body is such a mess, is because I decided that I wasn't going to take any buses, I wasn't going to take any Ubers or any trains, try save a little bit of money, and I was going to walk the entire time that I was in London. And I must have walked, God, I have no idea. It feels like 20 miles or so I must have walked. My feet are a disaster. I've got blisters on the back of my feet, my legs. It feels like I run a freaking marathon, man. Jeez. But I walked all over the place. I wanted to walk around my old city. You know, I wanted to see all of the things that were there. I wanted to relive the memories and all the great times that I had in London, and that's why I walked. And the sun was out. It was a beautiful, beautiful day in the capital. It was blue skies. It was kind of chilly, but that was okay. I'm used to the cold around here. Look at all of these freaking pumpkin people, man. Get out of my face, pumpkin people. They're in my freaking base. Also, let's get rid of these bad boys over here. Oops, just broke my floor. Let's fix this up a little bit. There we go. Oh, by the way, I figured out a really sweet name for our new pet rock. A lot of you guys have been giving me some pretty cool ideas in the comments of the previous episode for a new name, but I figured out a name myself that I want to name my new pet rock, and I think it's a really cool one. Let's go find an anvil and get this bad boy named. This is going to be named after an historical figure from my country, which is South Africa. This devil pet rock over here is going to become one of the most famous kings that ever existed in the country of South Africa, and that is the king known as Shaka Zulu. This rock is going to be called Shaka Zulu, and hopefully I can keep old Shaka alive in my inventory for as long as possible. Let's see. Should we throw up another vote in this video? Yeah, let's throw up another vote. Let's see how long I can keep Shaka Zulu alive in my inventory before I lose him or place him down like a freaking noob somewhere. But yeah, that's our brand new pet rock, everybody. Shaka Zulu, the pet rock, is in the belly. Now, I want to have a look down here. What did we use for the bottom of our floor? Oh, we actually used dirt, didn't we? We didn't use grass. Oh, that is unfortunate. I've got Silk Touch on this freaking shovel though, so it is actually not doing us a lot of favors. Although I suppose we could keep it grass. Nah, we want to keep it consistent, don't we? All right, let me go and see if I can find a little bit of more dirt in my storage facility. But yeah, did a bunch of walking yesterday, had my favorite hot dog, played some Magic, it was fantastic. And on the way back home, I had to take the tube or the metro to get back to the other train station that brings me all the way home out here. And it was on this journey that I had a little bit of a self-realization that I wanted to share with you guys today. Maybe some of you guys who live in cities will be able to relate to this. When I used to live in London, I remember that it was a pretty grumptastic place to live. Everybody who lives in London is super stressed. Everybody's working really, really hard, and everybody is really, really stressed. And talking to people in London is kind of like a taboo, okay? So if you're traveling in London, if you're on a bus, if you're going to work or something, or you're taking the train to go anywhere, you're not supposed to talk to people. It's kind of like an unwritten rule in the city. You're supposed to just let people be. You know, everybody is having a rough time. Everybody's working their butts off. Everybody's a little bit stressed. And so you, as a commuter in London, you're not supposed to talk to anybody. And, you know, I'm coming to London now as a sort of country bumpkin, I suppose. And I knew the rules, so I was trying to abide by the rule. I was sitting on the tube or on the metro at about, it must have been at about 7 o'clock at night, trying to get myself back home. 7 o'clock is the sort of peak commuter traffic hour in London. That's when 8 million human beings use the metro line to get back home, to get back to wherever they live in the city. And I was a part of those 8 million people. And let me tell you something, guys, it is crazy in the tubes at 7 o'clock in the morning. The place is absolutely packed. There are so many human beings. You cannot even believe how many humans there are. It is crazy. It's like ants crawling all over the place. It is absolutely mental. Anyway, I managed to get myself a seat on one of the train lines that I was traveling on. And this dude came and sat down next to me, and I could see that he was battered. He was a battered human being, man. He was destroyed. He'd obviously had a super long day at work. Maybe he was having some problems at home. Maybe he was fighting with his girlfriend or something. I don't know. He just looked really, really shattered. And he sat down next to me, and I instantly knew that something was going to happen. I don't know, maybe it was the old London blood in me was kicking in. I knew something was going to go down with this dude, man. And in the London metro or in the London trains, you've got these big windows on the opposite side of you. So if you're sitting down, you can see yourself and you can see the people that are sitting next to you also, right? And I was just chilling there, minding my own business, sitting next to this dude. And I was looking at him in the window, you know, doing a little bit of people watching, which I quite enjoy when I go to big cities. And I could see this dude's head was not very stable upon his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? It was teetering on the edge of falling asleep. I mean, this dude was shattered. He was battered, man. He needed to sleep, and I could see his head slowly but surely, you know, drifting off toward my shoulder. You know when people fall asleep on the train or on a bus or something? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen those people before, right? You can see their eyes are slowly closing, the eyelids are slowly going down, their body slowly goes into sort of shutdown mode, and this dude's head was sort of teetering toward my shoulder. He was falling over toward me, right? Now, back in the day when I used to live in London, that sort of thing would have driven me absolutely crazy, because I would have been like, listen, dude, I know that you've had a hard day, but I've had a hard day too. You cannot be sleeping on my shoulder, man. I just want to listen to music. I want to read my book. I want to play some Minecraft on my tablet. Don't fall asleep on my shoulder, please. That is just not the right thing to do. Not this time around. This time around, I saw this poor fellow falling asleep on the train, fallen over toward me. That head had a one-way ticket to my shoulder, and his head touched my shoulder, and as his head touched my shoulder, he fell into a deep, blissful rest. He looked so comfortable, so freaking relieved, I guess, that he finally was sleeping, and I couldn't bring it in me to wake him up. I couldn't be that guy to wake him up and bring him out of his slumber. Who knows? He was probably having a really nice dream or something, or even just a dead sleep, no dreams whatsoever, just 100% dead to the world. And I just couldn't bring it in me to wake this dude up and to try and get him off my shoulder. So I just kind of left him there. I just left him to sleep, left him to get whatever woes he had on his shoulders, off his shoulders and onto my shoulders, I guess. And he slept like a baby on my shoulder. I remember looking at the other people in the window that were, in the reflection of the window. I remember looking at these people looking at me, and they were just horrified. They couldn't believe what was going on. It was unbelievable to them that another human being would allow this other person to sleep on them. But you know what, man? I realized something. Since I moved out here into the middle of nowhere, I've become a much more chilled out human being. I'm so much more relaxed, so much more, I don't know, happy, I guess. And I was speaking to the guy that I was playing Magic with in the magic shop, and I was telling him about what I was doing now, and he said to me, "That sounds pretty crazy, man. But I mean, don't you miss the London life? Don't you miss working in the city, making loads of money, being able to do whatever you want? I mean, isn't moving out to a little town like that, kind of boring? I mean, don't you miss the London life?" And I kind of thought about that question because I thought it was a very interesting question. And I said to him, you know what, dude, I actually don't miss it at all. I am a much happier human being now than I've ever been, I think, since I moved out of the city. And what I realized when this dude fell asleep on my shoulder is that is 100% the truth. Back in the day, I was stressed. I was always fighting something, fighting against something, fighting against, I don't know what, man, fighting against a really crazy, stressful life. And these days, if some dude's going to fall asleep on my shoulder, so what, man? Whatever. Let it be. It's all good. He's had a rougher day than I am. And, if he's going to have a nice little nap for a couple of minutes and I can be the proprietor of his nappage, so be it. Ain't a big deal, right? Oh man, anyway, it was a great day. I had a fantastic day in London. I was absolutely knackered though, as I said. Got home super late at night, got home at 2 a.m. in the morning and went straight to sleep. And today my body is shattered, but you know what? It's perfect. It's freezing outside. I got a warm cup of tea. Give me 1 second. And I'm just going to play Minecraft all day, man. That's what I'm going to do. Wow. Takes my breath away every single time I see it. Absolutely amazing. You know what kind of worries me though, guys? I feel like our little Lush Mesa biome over here needs a bit of work. It feels a little bit out of place to me. It feels like there's something missing. Actually, that's exactly what Exumavoid said to me the other day. We were talking about this area and he was like, dude, there's something missing in the center of your valley. The trees and the terraforming around it are so beautiful, so detailed that your little bit of Lush Mesa looks a little bit empty, I guess. And I think that's 100% right, man. We need to do a lot more work here in the Lush Mesa to help it match the surroundings over here. Anyway, check it out. I've been working hard on the waterfall connection to the digestive tract creek, and it's looking pretty decent, man. Need to get a little bit of water in here, though, to try and get it flowing a little bit better. We've got a bit of a janky rapids going on over here. Plus, I still need to replace some of these horrible, horrible orange clay blocks. Do I even have blocks for this? Yes, I do. Now, I want to try and get this water looking as natural as possible. Whenever I do terraforming in this game, I try to make it as natural as possible. I try to think about how nature might function, right? And I try to sort of emulate my terraforming based on how nature would work. Let's talk a little bit about how potentially a river or a waterfall would work, right? Well, we know that water follows the path of least resistance, or liquid does anyway, right? So let me see if I can find an infinite water source around here, actually. That would help a lot. But yeah, water follows the path of least resistance. Ooh, there's some water over here. I'll take it from here. And so my thinking is that this waterfall is flowing down here and it comes against a whole bunch of rock, right? And that is why I put a bunch of stone and cobblestone and andesite and stuff here, just to try and get it looking a little bit more natural and make it feel like this river is actually functioning the way that a river might, right? I want to kind of get this water stilled over here, I guess. Actually, that's all right. That looks pretty good to me. This is going to go down another rapids. This is the part of the river that I think should be still, though. So we're going to have to get some infinite water sources down here. Now, I really, really like adding a little bit of beach into the sides of this river. I think that the beach sand is a really excellent block palette for our mesa over here, our Lush Mesa. It was a suggestion made by Iskal, actually, many, many months ago. And I think the lightness of the sand, or the Yeah, this is sand, yeah, of the beach sand actually makes the greens look a little bit more vibrant, and I want to try get a little bit more beach sand into this. Now, let me try get some freaking still water in here. Is that too much to ask? I always struggle with this water stilling business. There we go. That's looking pretty good. How is the water looking flowing down? That is looking a little bit janky. Let's add another water source over here just to fill in that rapids a little bit. Beautiful. Probably want to add another one over here. That didn't do anything. What about over here? I kind of want it to go over here though, don't I? So let's get a little bit more over there. Beautiful. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now we can focus on getting the water all the way through the river stilled. I wonder if I should raise the water level here. I guess so. The thing is, if we raise the water level one more time over here, then it's going to have to go down another rapids. That might work out pretty good, though, I think. It's going to give the whole thing a little bit more of a natural look and feel, I suppose. Well, I guess we have to try it out. So as we sometimes like to say in this biz, now we are cooking with gas, Cyberdogs. Take a look at our brand new little river section. It is looking freaking sweet. Damn! Super proud of what I've done here, guys. Take a look at this. Try to make it look as natural as possible. We've got a couple of rapids now. The water is flowing in a natural way, which I think looks fantastic. Connects very nicely to the digestive tract creek. Always get that one messed up. And I've got a bunch of foliage in the house too, which I think adds a little bit of green, makes it look a little bit more alive. Got a bunch of oxides and azure bluets in here too. This is, of course, a water source, so this is where plants are going to be growing. And look at this, I got a couple of natural lily pad bridges going here too, which is fantastic. A nice, easy way for us to get across this water. And yeah, I think it's turned out really, really beautiful, man. Have a look at this. I think it looks really nice. I think it complements the area very nicely. I think there's still a little bit of work to be done with regards to sort of block variation, maybe adding a few rocks and stones around the place. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I've got some sea lanterns underneath the bushes so that at night, this little river is going to be illuminated really, really nicely. And I am very happy with this. I think it's turned out really great, man. Now, there's one more thing we need to do in today's episode. Oh man, I'm super excited about this. We are going to be going to pay back Goodtimeswithscar for making our base look so beautiful, for giving me so much inspiration. You know, whenever I think about what to do in the Lush Mesa these days, I just look around and it inspires me to no end. This river, of course, has been inspired by our new base look. And I gotta say, man, it's turned out beautifully. Peabody and Atlas are just chilling there, loving being in nature, sniffing up that beautiful air. And yeah, guys, we are going to be giving Scar a beacon for the hard work that he's done for us. Not just a beacon, a diamond freaking beacon. Now, I need to find the beacon itself, which I've put down somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the storage facility. Let's head over to Goodtimeswithscar's base and pay him back for the hard work that he's done. He freaking deserves it, man. Good news, everyone! I've been looking through my chest for some more food as my golden carrot supply is about to dry up, and check what I found. A batch of moldy ham pie. Tasty, baby! Fungal infested ham pie, mold all up in the wazoo. Let me tell you something, man. A bit of penicillin never hurt anybody. Am I right? Here we are in Scar's beautiful base. I'm trying to find a new location for his diamond beacon. I kind of want to put it in a place where he'll log onto the server and find it and be like, wow, that is freaking awesome. And this base is pretty packed, though. There's not a lot of space around here to work with, so I gotta be a little bit careful. I don't want to break too much stuff. In fact, I don't really want to break anything, if I'm honest. But I do want to set up the beacon in an interesting location that will make Scar go, wow, that is so freaking sweet. I was thinking about maybe up on top of this mountain over here at the back of his base. I've got a whole bunch of blocks with me also. I want to make it look like this beacon has maybe sort of come out of the earth or something. I want it to blend into the environment a little bit. This double jump boost is a little bit annoying. Anyway, this might be a pretty decent spot for it up here, right? Might have to take down one of the custom trees though, so that is probably not the best thing to do. Is there another spot that I can find around here? I wonder. Let's take a look around here, man. There's definitely some open area, but it is probably going to involve me breaking some of Scar's work. I kind of don't want to do that, but I do want Scar to be surprised when he finds his beacon. So maybe there's a little spot that I can find around here. I'm going to have to look deep, though. This place is packed. I think I just found the perfect spot for our diamond beacon, Cyberdogs, right here in front of Jelly. I mean, that is probably the perfect location for it, right? The guardian of Scar's base overlooking all of these diamonds. I think that is absolutely perfect. I'm going to have to do a bit of terraforming here, though. I hope Scar won't be too upset with me. I'm going to have to break a few blocks here to make it happen. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make the beacon look like it is underground. So most of the beacon will actually be under the ground. And that way I will not break too much stuff in Scar's base, right? So let's build like the first 2 layers of the beacon above ground, and then the rest of the beacon will go under, I think. Let's have a look. How much bigger do we need to make this? Look at all of this diamond. It is absolutely insane. I think we need to do 2 more layers like this, don't we? I don't want to break too many blocks here. I want to try keep it as natural as possible. But there we go. That is going to be... Wait, I've done this completely wrong, haven't I? No, I haven't. There we go. Okay, so that's like the top of the beacon. Let's get the beacon itself in place. This is my beacon that I've brought here from my speed mine. So I no longer have a beacon. I'm going to be handing it over to Scar. And there we go, man. The beam is up in the air. Very, very nice. Now, I need to make the rest of this beacon under the ground. So, Scar, please forgive me. I hope the diamonds will be enough to forgive the ReNDoG for breaking a few of your blocks, man. I'll be happy to come back here at some point to fix what I have done too. But yeah, let me get this beacon installed, guys. I'm sorry, Scar. I'm sorry for breaking your base. Dear Scar, thank you for your landscaping services. I am a very happy customer and am delighted with the outcome. Please find your payment in front of Jelly. P.S. May this beacon of bling serve you well with future contracts. ReNDoG! You know what, I actually quite like how this beacon is blended into the environment around here. Kind of cool, man. Most of it is underground and it's molded into the terraforming of the place. I think it looks really decent, actually. I might do this in the future instead of just plonking beacons on the surface. Actually make them a part of your base, you know? I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, Scar has been paid with a full diamond beacon of awesomeness. May this thing bring him a lot of joy in the future on the Hermitcraft server. I know that he's got a couple of other contracts incoming. I think Exuma wants a little bit of work done too. So hopefully this beacon will accommodate Scar in making even more amazing stuff here on the Hermitcraft server. Well, that just about does it from me and Shaka Zulu from here on the Hermitcraft server. I hope you guys had a good time hanging out with me today, and if you did enjoy the video, remember to show me the love and hit that like button like nobody's business, man. I am going to try and walk now. Hopefully my legs have recovered and I can actually do a little bit of walking to the kitchen to get some food or something. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all in the next episode.